Hello and welcome back, McKessel here. Today we are going to look at a really fun little crate add-on called Crate Air Ducts. I think it adds some really cool features. Super helpful, but not, super ginormous like some of the different add-ons for crates. So let's dive right in and let's take a look at it. So this add-on only adds 5 blocks, but those 5 blocks can do some pretty incredible things. So essentially all it is just like you have air ducts in a building. It's these different air ducts, but what they do is they're able to transmit the blowing force from a fan, a crate fan, and direct that, multiply it, do a lot of cool things. So let's just take a look at the recipes real quick, and then we'll dive in and take a look at what it can do. All right, so first we have the straight vent, pretty straightforward. It goes in one end and comes out the other. Pretty simple recipe too. It's just 4 iron sheets and an andesite scaffolding, and it gives you 4 straight vents. Take one of those straight vents, you can then turn it into a knee vent, and actually if you take a look here, you can just flip it back to a straight vent too. So you don't lose it if you kind of craft it down the other way, you can craft it back. Now, to combine those two together, you create a split vent, right? So it comes in one end and it goes straight through, and it also can turn, and you can change that orientation using your wrench, and we're going to take a look at that here in a little bit. And then the opposite of that, where you have 2 knee vents, you combine them together, splits off in a direction, kind of like a T, right? In fact, junction vent is what it's called. And this is where something even more powerful comes in here. We've got the infuser vent. Now, if you've used Crate Connected or few other ones, they add like kind of the catalysts and stuff like that instead of having to have lava or water, and this kind of does the same thing. So you take a bucket of water, lava, a soul campfire, and a campfire, combine those together, you get 4 different infuser vents. So we're going to take a look at it here. I've got this kind of laid out so we can count and see a few different things of how this works. So we got our vents here and our wrench. So if I take this and stick it here, you'll see that it's got, hold my wrench here. Blue is input, orange is output. That's pretty standard for Minecraft stuff. And you'll see here, it actually extends where it goes to. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and then it stops here, this one. Now if I take that away, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it stops here. So it doesn't lose power. So in a way, this kind of just extends where that goes to. So input, output, and an event is just what we described. You lay it down, grab your wrench. As soon as you wrench, you can see here's my output. Problem is my input is down. That's not gonna work. All right, there we go. Just by clicking on it, we got our input coming here, and it's turning that way. And we can then rotate that around. And now we are turning that force this way. Now, it doesn't seem to lose, I've tested this a little bit, it doesn't seem to lose that kind of blowing power. You can extend these as far as you want, which is nice because you can essentially, use one fan to power a lot of different things. Now, it seems a little overpowered, and I don't know if they have plans to make it so you kind of lose it or if it separates it. This is perfect for now. I mean, for those of us that love realism a little bit, you could do that, but for now, it doesn't do that. So I can come here, I can extend this. We use that. So let's take a look at our junction vent. Same thing, we're going to need a wrench. And I found I have to kind of play around with it. So there we go. So our input, and now it's blowing up, and that means the opposite way, it's blowing down, right? So here we go. Now I've got it splitting, and if we take a look here, these are both equally pushing out that 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where it peters off. That one splits it, and here we go. We're going to take a look at this here. Boom. Add that there, and there we go. Now we got one going forward and one going there. And you see 1, 2, 3, 4, same force. We could do the same thing here if we want to. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where it stops. Now the cool thing about this is now I can come in here and I can add the next block I want to look at. Let me first add a few more splitter vents here and an event in the end. Now that kind of caps it off. Now let's take a look at this infuser vent. Now, right now, just placing it down, it just kind of acts as a straight vent, nothing fancy. And here's the kicker, you gotta take an empty hand and right click it. Now I've got washing, 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 washing. Second again, we're doing smoking, we're doing smelting, and haunting. So there we go. With that, I can set up one fan, and I am now, only using, you can see there, I'm only using a very small amount of stress units, but yet I'm able to do 4 different fans. Pretty cool. And again, the other cool thing about this is now, this severe, greatly reduces the complexity needed to create this, right? So I can have this here, and then just with a line of these here, 2 blocks wide, I now have all 4 of these, whereas before you would have needed some sort of power coming in, you would have needed a fan, you would have needed whatever your source was here, and then you have it there. So taking it, I guess it really only reduces it by 1, but you know, I don't have to build additional fans. I don't have to use additional stress units. Super powerful, super cool. Creating your super smelters where you kind of wrap these around where you're blowing on is great. All right, that is Create Air Ducts. Super powerful mod, but nice and simple. Again, only 5 blocks. Some really cool creative things you can go do here. Plus, you know, I love the fact that it kind of makes sense aesthetically and functionally, right? So you create a central fan unit or something in your building or whatever it might be, and send these air ducts throughout your building to do the different things you need with, you know, power. Super cool. This would be a cool concept to use with, like, say, at Astra or something like that, where you could then, you know, pump air. See, now I've got some cool ideas. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, if anyone wants to create a mod like that, I'd love to check it out. Anyway, if you guys have any other suggestions for create add-ons or any mods in general you'd like me to look at, I know I've taken a little bit of a break, but I'm back and looking to review some more mods. So thank you so much for watching this, and go check out this great mod. Bye.